where do I start?
Game coverage tonight brought to you by T-Mobile, the best 5G coverage in the game, home and away. A 1-1 ball game, top of the 6th inning with 1 away, and the Red Sox first move to the bullpen extracts 36-year-old 4-time All-Star Liam Hendriks.
Well, maybe not the wipeout power stuff he used to have, but it's still pretty good. Great shot there, Crochet with his manager. Garrett Crochet's stuff was good tonight, but not the kind of swing and miss stuff we're used to seeing from him. But it just goes to show you how he competes. 1-1 game.
Two balls and a strike to Pete Alonso. Hendriks last pitched on Friday. In fact, he came in after Garrett Crochet exited that game against Atlanta. It was a little later in the night, in the 8th. Piggybacking on Crochet once again tonight. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes on Alonso. And Alonso chases. JP, you had a chance to visit with Liam today, I'm told.
I did, and Liam noted very proudly that he's been a teammate of the 3 closers of this generation that he considers to be the greatest to do it. Craig Kimbrell, Kenley Jansen, and now in Boston, Aroldis Chapman, all Hendriks teammates. Of course, Liam has a great amount to be proud of in his own right. Later on this year, he should become just the 3rd Australian-born pitcher with 500 appearances in the major leagues, joining Graham Lloyd and Grant Balfour.
Ball with no strikes account to Mark Vientos. Said that strikeout was in question there.
Yeah, it was. I heard 2 taps. Let's listen and watch. Strike 3 here. Alonso definitely fouls the ball off and hits the ground.
It sure does.
I mean, you can hear it.
Carlos Mendoza came out immediately, but that argument fell on deaf ears, and now it's a ball and 2 strikes on Vientos.
He's got that good slider working tonight, dotting that up.
Vientos has been on base in both of his at-bats tonight. Walked and scored the Mets' only run in the 2nd. Got on board in a fielder's choice play in the 4th. Orioles fan representing tonight.
Arrived early, huh?
Orioles Red Sox tomorrow on the MLB Network Showcase. Tom and I will be right back here with you. And JP as well. Not a pleasant forecast tomorrow, so if we thought it was cold and rainy tonight, you just wait. Still a full count to Vientos. Bases empty with 2 gone in the 6th. Caught looking at a called strike 3. Time now for Getting It Done, built by the Home Depot, and with the bases loaded and 2 out last inning, Huáscar Brazoban got it done, striking out a 3-time All-Star.
As you mentioned, a guy who's tough to put away with 2 strikes, but look at this last pitch you're going to see. Couldn't land the changeup, but dotted it up outside corner with the heater. Yeah, that was in the zone. How about that move, too, by Carlos Mendoza? I love that, knowing the game's on the line.
Going to get a pop out off the bat of Wilyer Abreu.
The game's not always on the line in the 8th or 9th inning. Big spot, bring in a guy who's in your circle of trust. How much more trust than that? Come in with the bases loaded.
It's a really good point. It was an odd night yesterday in Game 2 of the series. The Red Sox shut out the Mets 2-0 on a night when Walker Buehler was ejected early, Alex Cora was ejected, and a cavalcade of Boston relievers almost turned into a bullpen game, and not by design. And everybody was really sharp out of the Red Sox pen. Here's Christian Campbell now. Tonight, the theme has been strikeouts, 18 combined through the first 5+, and 8 of those looking. And if you're wondering, that one seethed and right back up the middle. Campbell's aboard on a base hit, first time he's been on tonight. And that snaps an 0 for 17 for the rookie.
Yeah, he needed that one. Brasman came close to getting this ball, went right by his glove.
Right by his face, too, man. He can see the autograph of the commissioner on the sweet spot there. 1 out, 1 on for Nick Sogard, who's got a couple of hits tonight. The changeup swung on and missed. So the average number of strikeouts by percentage that are looking as opposed to swinging, it's about a quarter of the strikeouts across the league. So 1 out of every 4 is taken. Tonight, 8 out of the 18 have been looking, 44%, which tells you a couple of things. Either you have 2 guys that are really deceptively sharp, or you have a bigger strike zone. And I would give a lot of credit to the second of those 2. Mets turn the double play. Turns into a quick inning after all for Huáscar Brasaban. Still a 1-1 ball game in Boston. Google Cloud is the official cloud partner of Major League Baseball and is powering StatCast to reveal new insights and take you deeper into the game than ever before. Let's go deep into the 10 strikeout night for Tyler McGill.
It's just amazing. We came in saying he needs to be more aggressive, needs to lean on his heater more, and look at this. 10 strikeouts, tying a career high, all with one of his fastballs. Only Kevin Gossman got 10 punch-outs on fastballs in a game this year.
Liam Hendricks, meanwhile, continues. He struck out Alonso and Vientos to end the 6th inning. And here in the 7th, he gets Torrens, Taylor, and Acuna. I don't think there are any conditions under which Liam Hendricks would consider the undershirt. I mean, as far back as his Twins days, and this guy has pitched in some cold weather cities. He is just out there, shirt sleeves, letting it rip. Two balls and a strike to Luis Torrens, who has doubled and struck out tonight.
Well, JP mentioned Graham Lloyd. Reminded me of my favorite Graham Lloyd story. He got traded to the Yankees. George Steinbrenner went up to him the first day he arrived in pinstripes and said, "I'm sorry to hear about all the barbers in Australia." What do you mean? They must all be on strike. He got the message. It was time for a haircut.
Do you think there's any regret amongst Yankee management? I don't want to get too far off the Red Sox and Mets over the loosened facial hair policies.
Regret now that they did.
Well, the guy you loosened
earlier,
the guy that you loosened it for hasn't exactly been great. It's lined out to right center field, a base hit. Torrens is aboard to lead off the 7th. Another leadoff hitter reaching base safely for the Mets.
How about Raphael? He plays such a short center field. He actually looked at first base to try to throw out Torrens. It was a bullet. Got to him quickly.
Torrens was thrown out at the plate in the 2nd on that great throw by Rafaela. So the leadoff hitter aboard for the 5th time in the 7 innings that the Mets have opened tonight. Now Tyrone Taylor.
Narvaez wants to talk to Hendricks here.
Yeah, they've got Brennan Bernardino up in the bullpen. He pitched in last night's game. And we were talking about that throw at the plate, and let's go back and take a look at it, courtesy of StatCast, powered by Google Cloud.
Yeah, he likes to play a shallow center field. Hopper. The way he charged this ball was just so impressive. You see the arm strength well above major league average. Also, by the way, on target. Nice athletic tag by Narvaez. It's just a great play all around both ends. Yeah, he's a game changer defensively. He is an impact player on nights when he goes 0 for 4.
Three balls and no strikes. So a fastball now, 2 sliders missing to make it a 3-0 count to Taylor.
Yeah, I'm going to let him hit here too. If he's comfortable pulling the trigger on a fastball, now's the time. Looked like he was taken all the way.
Acuna next, and then it would be the lefty Brett Beatty, and that's why Bernardino's up in the bullpen. Here's the 3-1 first of all to Taylor, right back in the count to fill it 3-2.
Oh, I would not start Terens here. It's probably a slider here from Hendricks, his best swing and miss pitch.
Runner stays put, and the 3-2 pitch is shot into the opposite field. First and second with nobody out here in the 7th. We're talking about Ceddanne Rafaela's defense and what he brings on that side of the scorecard. This was last week in Detroit. It's like a tip drill with Wilyer Abreu. That's a homer that Abreu wanted to catch. Instead, he knocked it down, and Ceddanne was right there to field it. I'm not sure how that's scored officially, but it was really fun to watch.
9-8 put out.
F9-8.
I don't see too many of those. Does he get an assist on that? Why not? If the pitcher gets an assist for deflecting a ground ball.
I would imagine. Here's Acuna looking to bunt. And for a team that's just 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position as the Mets are tonight, that's not a bad idea.
I like it. I like it more if you just completely give yourself up. You're trying to get the best of all worlds by getting on with a base hit. I just wear around early. I mean, he's so fast, he's going to put pressure on the defense, even with just an average bunt. Better. No, that's not good form.
Well, and you'd like it more still if you knew that this was something that Acuna has done a lot of. My guess is that he hasn't, because nobody does anymore.
Not by that form, too. His bat was not even in front of the plate. He had no chance of getting that ball down. I mean, why that is, I have no idea. That should not happen. With his speed, you should be able to get to the big leagues with that being a part of your game.
Right.
It's all about just commitment and practicing that.
1 sack bunt in his career. Certainly off on a 2-strike count, on the ground for Story, and they just get Acuna at first. Man, does he run. Holy cow, he made that close. In fact, the Mets might want to take another look.
Yeah,
they're going to challenge it.
I think Story was a little surprised here. I'm surprised he didn't go to second base. That ball was not hit hard, bounced high, and he did not have a lot on that throw, Matt. Here's the high hop throw to first, and in my book, he beat it.
Time for a replay review powered by Zoom. We have longtime Major League umpire Ted Barron on the crew with us tonight. Teddy, tell us about the nuances of hearing the noises when you're officiating a call like this.
Yeah, as the first base umpire, you use sound as a cue. You get in and set up in your angle, and you listen. The pop of the glove makes a distinct sound, as does the foot hitting the base. And so you try to get those sounds in your head and get them right. And the guys in New York are able to help out on an extremely close play like that.
As they did here, and the original call is overturned. So here comes Alex Cora. And we appreciate Ted being with us on call for moments like this. And now Alex wants to come out for some clarification. Bases are loaded with nobody out. Alex is going out with a hook. It's going to be Brennan Bernardino with no wiggle room. Bases loaded, nobody out. We'll be right back.
Trevor Story had 3 options on this play, and he went to try to get the fastest guy on the New York Mets. It's Acuna at first base. Look, Bregman's covering third. He's got an out at third and out at second. He chooses to go to first. And I think he got surprised and couldn't get enough on the baseball.
That has put the Red Sox in a tough predicament here with the bases loaded, nobody out. Brendan Bernardino pitching in back-to-back games in the series. Brett Beatty, the batter. Bernardino was very good last night. He was the first one in early in the game after Walker Buehler was ejected for arguing balls and strikes. He gave the Red Sox an invaluable inning and 2/3 of shutout baseball. 2 balls and no strikes. Beatty has had a nice night. An RBI single and a stolen base.
And he showed me a lot with the way he held ground against Crochet.
2 balls and a strike, and that last angle, man, he is darn near out of the batter's box. See how deep he was?
As long as you have one little toe on the line, you're good.
A long-standing hitter's parlor game to obscure that bat line as best you can, and man alive, he might have just a skosh of it. Two and two. He's got nothing to argue about there. That's a strike.
No, it's a good pitch. Got to find a way to put the ball in play right here. Infield in. Ideally, you're looking for something up that you can drive in the air to the middle of the field. But now it's just battle time with 2 strikes.
Troubling part of the lineup due up next. Francisco Lindor, Starling Marte, then Juan Soto. Again, nobody out with the bases loaded. 2-2 to Beatty. Served into the opposite field, and that's trouble. It rattles around in left. Terren scores. Taylor right behind him. And Brett Beatty's big night continues. All the damage against left-handed pitching.
What a beautiful swing. Watch this as an abbreviated swing here. 2 strikes, put the ball in play. Doesn't even follow through on that swing, but he leveled it out. Had seen the fastball away the previous pitch. Reacted well to the same location with just a beautiful 2-strike swing. He should be fired up.
3-1 New York, and looking for more now with Lindor batting right-handed. A ground ball for Story. Glove flip for 1, and Campbell eats the throw. There are 2 gone. I don't think Christian had a handle on the baseball.
Yeah, and the glove flip was a little slow as well. Surprised he didn't put 2 hands on the baseball right here. That's not, didn't have any pace on the ball coming out of the glove. Watch this, it just kind of dies. Yeah, it caught the web coming out. Nothing on that, and really no chance to turn it.
Boy, that could have gone very wrong, by the way. You've got Campbell waiting for a little bit firmer of an initiation for a potential double play ball. Good job by him just to react to the toss. 1st and 3rd now with 2 runs in and 2 away. Starling Marte hitless tonight.
Sean Newcomb up in the pen in case it gets to Soto.
He just got up too. The Mets lineup that had scored a total of 8 runs in their past 6 games coming into play tonight. Enjoying a big inning here in the 7th. 4 straight singles, and Bernardino trying for damage control now with only 1 gone. A bag for Lindor without a contested throw down. 2nd and 3rd now, and it's 3 balls and a strike for Marte.
Yeah, great play by Lindor because Bernardino was not using a slide step. steady diet of breaking pitches here. And it turned out they were not even defending him.
No throw down on either one of Francisco Lindor's stolen base attempts tonight. I mean, that's good, easy living. You run it all year under circumstances like that.
Well, it's big when you have a ground ball hitter up. It takes a double play out of order.
It's funny how it all comes around to the center of the night. It all comes around to Juan Soto, who waits next. He has struck out 3 times tonight, twice looking. Full count.
Well, you rest assured there's a contact play on here. Acuna will be off and running anything hit on the ground. And those infielders know it.
3-2 pitch. 2 easy takes in 2 strike counts. But Bernardino missing badly twice. Bases loaded again. And the big 3 that started the night cold with all kinds of opportunities tonight. Lindor's had a nice night. Alonso has a base hit. Nothing yet for Soto, but man, does he have a chance to make that all go away here.
The game finds you, doesn't it? Got moved down from the 2 spot to the 3 spot in this order. Had no clue against Garrett Crochet. I thought maybe Alex Cora wanted Newcomb on Bernardino, but instead he's going to keep the pitcher in.
Well, Juan Soto in these spots with runners on base has grounded into 9 double plays. That would be just what the doctor could order for the Red Sox here.
Well, as JP pointed out in the beginning too, runners in scoring position has really been a problem for Juan Soto.
These two faced one another last night, and Soto drew a walk against Bernardino. Here we go with the bases loaded. That's the pitch that Soto struck out on against Garrett Crochet back in the 6th. But Bernardino wanted to see if he was still in swing mode. 1-1.
Boy, when he's right, he just absolutely hammers that pitch. 90 at the top of the zone. And those are pitches he eats for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But again, you'll see him in the box. He's more upright this year. He's not using the lower half the same way.
High drive out to center field. Chasing Raffaello, who makes the catch at the wall. Enough to tag and score Acuna. 4-1 New York. We've said it a couple of times tonight, maybe on a different night. Well, he was on that.
Yeah, it's a mistake. The breaking ball got way too much of the plate. And yes, there's just not the same kind of carry tonight on these fly balls.
A 3-run inning now. 1st and 3rd with 2 gone. Pete Alonso. Alonso still in the midst of this homerless stretch. 13 games at the start of play. His longest home run less streak is 15, and that came a few years ago back in 2021. If you're the Red Sox, you just want to get him out of town before he finds it again. 0-2.
Well, the Mets have gone 10 games without a home run for the first time in a decade.
That one gets away at the plate from Narvaez. Marte gets to second base easily. That's anybody's guess if it's scored as a pass ball or a wild pitch.
I think there was a little bit of a bounce, but you're right. I mean, he rates very well on metrics in terms of blocking the baseball.
The ball was in the dirt, but it almost looked like Narvaez pushed it away. He tried to scoop it.
I think Pete said the ball hit him, and it did.
Sure did.
Yeah, so you saw that look in the Mets dugout from Mendoza, like, what's going on here? We got a hit batter. That's why the ball wasn't blocked.
Back to Bernardino. Makes an athletic play out of a tougher chance. Alonso retired not before the Mets can score 3. 7th inning stretch. 4-1 New York.
Queens, you welcome me and my family as one of your own. For every kid dreaming big, to every fan rocking their Mets gear with pride, I play for you. This is our story. This is for Queens. Let's get it.
Thursday afternoon baseball to Yankee Stadium, a matchup between the Rangers and the first place Yankees. Catch all the action live tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern, right here on MLB Network. Calling it the Boone Bowl. Aaron and brother Brett, new Rangers hitting coach, on opposite ends of that one. Good pitching matchup too. Carlos Rodon and Nate Eovaldi tomorrow on MLB Network. Huascar Brazoban back out there for another inning of work. He's gone an inning and a third so far tonight. And he draws the bottom of the lineup with a new left fielder, Brandon Nimmo, taking over for Starling Marte. 0-2 the quick count on Trevor Story. The Brazoban has been such an important bridge piece for Carlos Mendoza. Alex Cora figuring out if he can get a left-handed bat in there this inning. Not a lot to pick and choose from.
And Brazoban is what a weapon he's turned out to be for the New York Mets. First of all, everything he throws has great movement. Most of it down in the zone. He's tough to elevate. But for a relief pitcher to come into a jam and have 2 up downs and still be out there, I don't see that a lot.
He's had 6 outings of multiple innings this year already, solidifying that place of trust that you spoke of earlier that he occupies with his manager. 1-2 to Story. Wave and a miss. Second time he's gone down on strikes tonight. Bullpen activity behind Brazoban as Reed Garrett has just stood up. Carlos Narvaez has singled and struck out this evening. Only 5 hits for the Red Sox tonight. And just one of the extra base variety. That was Sogard's double in the second. It's a team that at the start of play had the 5th best slugging percentage in all of baseball, and they have been quieted down. Tyler McGill was terrific. 10 strikeouts through 4 2/3. Quickly 0-2 on Narvaez.
Yeah, lots of swings and misses. Sogard's double, really the only ball hit hard to the pull side. A couple of infield hits.
Narvaez strikes out on a good slider. Let's look at some more odds courtesy of FanDuel, and you've got the Mets as the third shortest shot to win a World Series title behind last year's competitors. You know, it's so early to be talking about World Series prices. What do you make of at least that group?
National League heavy, no surprise. Tigers fans are saying, hey, where's our team?
Yeah, that's right.
We got the best record in baseball.
That's right. Here's Raffaello now with 2 gone. Mets Dodgers head to head this weekend. Detroit won again today, beating St. Louis 5-1. We've got Adnan Virk coming up on the postgame show with our man Yonder Alonso. Dan O'Dowd as well. They'll walk you through the entire Wednesday schedule. 2 balls and a strike to count to Ceddanne Rafaela, who's been hit by a pitch and struck out tonight.
And we saw that shot of Carlos Mendoza in there. I just hope our own J.P. Morosi is as layered up as the manager of the Mets. Carlos is probably wearing at least over/under on layers, probably 4. He's got hoodies, he's got jackets, he's got long sleeves, he's got the jersey. Hopefully the jersey. I like it when the managers wear their jerseys.
Yeah, as opposed to the sweatshirt.
Yeah, bad luck.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Rafaela strikes out. Huáscar Brasaban strikes out the side. On to the 8th, and the well-layered Mets manager still leading 4-1.
You know I got the spirit, knock it out the park, knock it out the spirit of the game, knock it out the park, knock it out. You know I got the spirit, knock it out the park, knock it out the spirit of the game.
The catch is through, not in time.
4-1 Mets, the score at Fenway Park at Secaucus' Studio 3. Adnan Virk, Yonder Alonso, Dan O'Dowd are waiting for a post-game show. And I understand Dan already cooking up rumor and speculation on the trade market. You know it's only May, right?
Yeah, I'm just making things up, Matty. Matty, as we go here. Just trying to start conversations.
What else we got on the postgame show tonight, Adnan?
We'll talk a little San Diego Padres. John will break down the fact they're really a top-heavy offense. They rely on 3 guys. If they're not cooking, they're in trouble. Plus, Matty, maybe some hockey talk. Yonder very bullish, but it's Florida Panthers.
Go Panthers.
Whether they're destined to go back to the Stanley Cup. We got a lot of good stuff coming up.
You guys have some good games to watch on your show as well. Dodgers Diamondbacks once again starting up. The plucky Angels in action in West Sacramento. Mind the memo. We have to say West for whatever reason, but that's the way it is. And looking forward to watching you guys after the game tonight.
Thanks,
1
man.
away already here in the bottom of the inning.
Well, now that I know Yonder's breaking down the NHL, I'm watching.
I don't know. I mean, were they kidding about that? Yonder breaking down the NHL.
You have to tune in and find out.
Yes. One gone here in the top of the 8th. Sean Newcomb, by the way, has taken over on the mound, as Tom mentioned. He was getting hot last half inning. Circumstance looked a little different then, if he was going to be used in the 7th or not. He gets the first out here in the 8th, and he's 0-1 on Luis Torrens. Newcomb appearing in his 11th game. And the former Brave on top now 0-2.
Okay, we came into this game talking about the Mets recently, especially the big guys at the top of the order, right? The Lindor, Soto, Alonso combo has not been clicking in the last week and a half. How about the back half of this lineup tonight for the Mets? 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7 hits, producing runs all over the place.
No trumpet music on the road. Mets closer calmly seated for the time being with a 3-run lead. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Luis Torrens. Sean Newcomb last pitched on Sunday, of any length, that is. Did he appear yesterday? Was Newcomb in there yesterday? No, he did not pitch yesterday. So yeah, the last outing for him was Sunday. And he had to wear a long one. 4 2/3 in relief. Ended up allowing 3 runs on 6 hits. And he loses Torrens on ball 4. 1 out, 1 on now. And Tyrone Taylor, the batter. Taylor worked an RBI single, or rather a single, in the 7th, which set up the run-scoring single by Brett Beatty. After falling behind 0-2 in the count, working it full, and then massaging a pitch to the opposite field to keep a rally alive. 4 straight hits is what led to the 2 of the 3 runs in the Mets half of the 7th. Still 0-2. That's out to right field. And Wilyer Abreu has out number 2. Tyrone Taylor having a lot of success hitting the ball to right field tonight. 2 gone with the runner on now for Luis Angel Acuna.
Yeah, the Mets have really strung together some good at-bats in this game, especially, as I said, the bottom of the lineup, whereas the Boston lineup, just a ton of swing and miss. What, 14 strikeouts in 7 innings? That's not stretching the defense.
Two singles and a run scored for Acuna tonight. Red Sox stay home after this one. They welcome the Orioles to town. And Tom, JP, and I will be on the air tomorrow night for the first in that series. Mets are headed home. They've got a travel day technically tomorrow before a big 3-game series opens with the Dodgers. Two balls and a strike to Acuna.
This guy really makes things happen with his speed, doesn't he? I mean, his first hit was just a slow bouncing ball to third base that Bregman do-or-die play couldn't make, and then that ground ball to shortstop should have been out somewhere on the infield.
And a chopper that Newcomb gets out of his glove in a hurry. He was very aware of the speed that you just discussed. 1 out walk left stranded. Still a 4-1 Mets lead. Playing the plate. It's in time to get him. And that's trouble. Torrens scores. Taylor right behind him. And Brett Beatty's big night continues. Yeah, Brett Beatty has had a big night. Tyler McGill struck out a career-high tying 10, and as good as Garrett Crochet was tonight and has been all year, the Mets have the upper hand as we enter the bottom half of the 8th inning. Back with Tom Verducci and JP Morosi, Matt Vasgersian. The Red Sox have the top of their order in the 8th with a 3-run deficit on the board. And new pitcher on the mound for New York, right-hander Reed Garrett takes over in the 8th inning.
We'll see if he can continue what's been a splendid night of Mets pitching when it comes to swing and miss and throwing strikes. Saw the walk numbers there for Garrett a little bit high this early in the season. That could be an issue. But how about the job by Huascar Brazoban? 28 pitches, 21 strikes. You talk about pounding the zone.
A ball and a strike to count to Jarren Duran, who drove in the Red Sox only run with a sac fly in the 5th. Yeah, 14 strikeouts by Red Sox hitters tonight. They've only had 1 game all year in which they have struck out more than that, and that was an 11-inning affair against the Tigers. A couple of things working there. McGill was great. Zone's been big tonight. Laz Diaz behind home plate. Fair. I'm not saying bad. I'm just saying, you know, there have been a couple of pitcher-friendly moments. It's ball and 2 strikes. It remains to Jarren Duran.
Yeah, but when you get 14 punch-outs for your 21 outs, as I said, it doesn't test the defense. When you only have to make 7 plays on defense the first 7 innings, that makes it a lot easier. Those strikeout heavy Houston staffs used to talk about when they get 10, 11 strikeouts per 9. The defense only had to make, you know, minimal number of plays in the course of a game. That matters.
Full count, 3-2. Reed Garrett throws one of the highest percentages of 2-strike off-speed pitches in the game. Looked like he turned over a changeup that time to fall behind.
Yeah, he throws it a lot and needs to throw a strike here with a 3-run lead.
3-2.
Good cut on that ball. He's not going to give in. He's still liable to throw that split change, but just don't walk a team back into a game. Relief pitching to me is mostly about limiting walks and home runs.
Full count pitch. Fouled away again. Again, this is a Red Sox lineup that leads the American League in hits. Limited to just 5 of them tonight. Garrett's next full count pitch. Sharply hit on the ground for Acuna, man out number 1.
Yeah, I love the pitch selection there. That was the challenge fastball. As you mentioned, doesn't throw many in 2-strike counts. The scoreboard will tell you everything you need to do, both in the field and on the mound.
This will be interesting because you got a guy that throws a lot of secondary pitches, a lot of non-fastballs, against a guy that the league goes after almost exclusivevely with fastballs. And it's a fastball that Devers lines into the gap. Well, that answers that question.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier about how he loves to swing at the first pitch.
Been a rough night for Alex Bregman. 3 strikeouts. Picking out a first pitch leaky heater.
His swing looks so good right now. As you mentioned, he's really the best patience he's ever shown at the plate in terms of strike zone discipline.
Well, in a season of firsts for Alex Bregman, his first season anywhere but Houston. Tonight, unfortunately, is his first 3-strikeout game as a Red Sox, and he'd like to end the strikeout firsts there because he has never struck out 4 times in a game. Some success in limited exposure to Reed Garrett. The 2-1 pitch to Bregman. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, borderline call, 50-50, doesn't get it. Bregman in the driver's seat.
Full count. Wilyer Abreu next.
Yeah, he got that pitch he was looking for. I know it was out of the zone. With that fastball running in on his hands right where he likes it. Just missed it.
Edwin Diaz has just gotten up in the New York bullpen. And here's the 3-2 home to Bregman. Bregman, as we said earlier tonight, been very good in 2-strike counts this year. The 3-2 pitch. Got him looking. And Alex Bregman has struck out 4 times in a game for the first time in his career.
2 of those strikeouts looking. First one out of the zone. This one is right on the black. He didn't think it was a strike, but that is a borderline call.
So now Wilyer Abreu, and on the first pitch, a fly ball into left. Nimmo is out there just shy of the monster, and the inning is over. To the 9th, 4-1 Mets.
The margins of victory are so thin. Think about this pitch here. Las Diaz, the umpire, got it right. That is right on the black for strike 3. If that pitch is a ball, as Beatty, another bat against the lefty, this time they get him out. If that pitch is a ball, Edwin Diaz is in the game and has to get 5 outs for a save. Garrett was not going to pitch the tying run. Diaz was up for that very situation if Bregman got on base. Instead, it's strike 3. And then on one pitch to Abreu, inning over.
You're out of it. Yeah. Some game, huh? Some sport you invented, Mr. Doubleday.
Just amazing how they got it right. Like, how'd they come up with 90 feet? It's like perfect, right?
This sounds like an Andy Rooney bit we're doing now. Here's Lindor with one away.
Hopefully a lot of our viewers said, Andy who?
Yeah. My material has been trending older for quite a while, Tom. 0-2 to Lindor. Francisco sends that one toward the monster. And up and gone. Now the good night for Francisco Lindor got even better with a solo homer. And the Mets have finally broken out of their home run-less funk.
It only took 11 games. Finally hit one over the wall. A nice job by Lindor staying through the breaking ball. You can get out front on this pitch, but as long as you stay through it, you can drive it out of the park.
And the pitch to Brandon Nimmo. The very next pitch is lined out to center field.
There's only 6 games without a home run. It just seemed like 11.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. It
There's
seemed
the
like
breaking
2 weeks.
pitch. I mean, look at that. It actually one-handed the ball out of the park. Out front, but on balance and extend through the baseball. Actually got up by quite a bit.
It did. That's not a Fenway homer. That's not a monster homer. It's not on its way down as it hit the wall. So now Juan Soto able to polish up a 3-strikeout night with a sac fly in the 7th inning. If things were different tonight and the Mets were on the other end of a 5-1 score, there'd be much more conversation about Soto's 3 strikeouts than there likely will be with the Mets potentially winning tonight. Fact remains, he was called out on strikes twice in his first 2 at-bats, looking at 6 pitches. 1-2. By the way, the last time the Mets had gone 7 games without a homer, it was almost a decade ago. So they won't have to talk about that for a while. And if Alex Cora's guys are going to come up with their second sweep of the season, they're going to have to conjure up some late magic tonight. Full count to Soto, 3-2. Takes ball 4. So Pete Alonso will get a 5th plate appearance tonight, something he may not have been banking on 5-10 minutes ago. Soto at first with 2 away, breaking balls in for a strike. Mets team that had lost 3 straight, 5 of their last 6, and they have a late 4-run lead tonight to try to salvage the last game of a series and the last game of a road trip.
Yeah, you saw all those smiles in the dugout there. A lot of players contributing tonight. Good at bats, especially the back half of the lineup, and the way Gill pitched tonight. He should have a huge smile on his face.
Breaking ball squirted out of Newcomb's hands. It's 2-2. Sharply hit to third. Bregman makes a good play to get him at first base. Not a safe situation, but Edwin Diaz is going to go to the mound anyway in a 4-run Mets lead. 5-1 Mets in the series finale here in Boston as we welcome you back for the bottom half of the ninth. And the Red Sox will have one last crack at this with their 5, 6, 7 part of the order against the very back of the Mets bullpen. As right-hander Edwin Diaz will pitch in a non-safe situation to try to finish things out for the visitors this evening.
Yeah, well, we saw him get up, and he did get hot, thinking he was just one pitch away from entering in the 8th. Once you do that, might as well get him in the 9th, as you said, even though it's not a safe situation.
Diaz a perfect 10 for 10 in save opportunities this year, and he'll start against Christian Campbell in the Boston 9th. Campbell, Sogard, and Story scheduled for the Red Sox. A run on 6 hits for Boston. 5 runs on 10 hits for the Mets. One and two.
You can't believe it.
Take time.
A wry smile from Alex Cora. This is unhittable.
Alex goes way back with Laz Diaz. He was telling us today.
To hear that, right? What, 1994 was it? At Miami?
Yeah, I think it's 94 was the time date stamp.
Laz was calling the Friday night games for Miami. I think he became a minor league umpire the next year.
Full count, 3-2. And there's ball 4. What was the wrist tab? Is that my time? Is that what Alex is doing? Come on, this is your time. Let's go.
My guess is he's giving me the red light. Like, make sure the rookie knows this is not a time to be trying to get it back. You're down 4 in the 9th inning. Even though Diaz is slow to the plate.
The ball with no strikes to Nick Sogard.
Teams rarely put the red light on anymore, but you would do it with a very young player.
Makes sense.
That's my guess.
One young
I'm
player.
just glad that Alex stuck around tonight. As he told us, he missed Monday night's game for his daughter's graduation. Congratulations to her. He got ejected last night.
Yeah. Time to get back to work, I'd say. Oh, I think Torrens was fooled by that.
He was. He's expecting a fastball. I don't know how that happens with PitchCom, but reacted in time to that slider. Wow.
Mets were fortunate to get a strike call. A ball and 2 strikes. Got him. Red Sox down to their final 2 outs.
16 strikeouts on the night for Mets pitching. That hasn't happened to the Red Sox in a 9-inning game in 2 years.
And a new season high for the Mets. Those 16 strikeouts. Trevor Story responsible for 2 of them. I think Jeremy Hefner, the Mets pitching coach, is just as happy with the 16 punchouts as he is the only 2 walks. The ... only 2 walks part of the equation.
Absolutely. Wasn't really happy with the 3-2 slider pitch from Diaz there to this walk in this inning, but overall, absolutely. And we started the night talking about Tyler McGill, how he needed to be aggressive with his fastball, and he went to next level with aggressiveness.
Yeah, it's funny as we kind of check back in on what we thought the storylines would be at the time of the first pitch, right? Juan Soto struggling.
Right.
I think that continues, even though he did drive in a run with the sac fly. McGill coming off a clunker in his last start Friday in the Bronx. How would he respond? Manager called him out to be more aggressive in the strike zone. He certainly was.
Garrett Crochet, could he get his first win ever in Fenway Park? He's going to have to wait another start for that, at least.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Story. How would the Mets lineup respond after Carlos Mendoza kind of shook it up a little bit? The answer to that was they responded very well. And Story sends a ball out to right for Soto.
Well, he said he was committed to giving this lineup a little bit of run. You know it's the same lineup the next game, right?
Imagine.
After a W?
I would imagine. Although, I don't know, they do have a day off tomorrow before they open that series against the Dodgers at home. Clayton Kershaw on the mound for LA. You got to run Brett Beatty out there anyway, right? The night he had against the lefty tonight, that's going to do it this evening in Boston. The Mets, with a 5-1 win, salvage a win in the series finale. Alex Cora happy with taking 2 out of 3. And despite what's going on with Juan Soto, the Mets lineup thrives with 5 runs on 10 hits tonight. Bottom of the order, to your earlier point, Tom, that guy in particular doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah, Brett Beatty had a great night, and to me the biggest swing of the night. Opposite field, 2-run double on a 2-strike pitch. Saw left-handers all night. Not only held his ground, but had really good at-bats. And Tyler McGill didn't get the W, but man, was he good tonight. 10 punch-outs.
5-1 Mets, the final score at Fenway tonight, and we're right back here tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern. MLB Network Showcase will be back at Fenway when the Orioles are in town to face the Red Sox. Up next, the MLB Tonight postgame show. For Tom Verducci, JP Morosi, and our entire crew, Matt Vasgersian saying goodnight and thanks for watching the MLB Network Showcase. Adnan Virk, Dan O'Dowd, and our man Yonder Alonso next.